For tonight's first game of the 2025 Hornet Classic between the visiting Bethlehem Eagles from Section 2, coached by Mr. Dylan Laffey, and playing the home CNS North Stars, coached by Mr. Dan Jones. And now for tonight's starting lineups. First with the visiting Eagles. At forward, a senior, number 19, Finn McNamara. At forward, a junior, number 4, Brendan Sweeney. At forward, a junior, number 10, Rowan Chamberlain. On defense, junior, number 5, Finn Kurashina. On defense, junior, number 8, Seamus Healy. And in goal, sophomore, number 31, Colin Novak. And now for the CNS North Stars, at forward, a senior, number 11, David Cooley. At forward, a senior, number 10, Austin Clark. At forward, a senior, number 17, Dylan Lynch. On defense, senior, number 3, Alex Murphy. On defense, senior, number 13, Austin Benkowski. And in goal, senior, number 1, Boston DeRoy. Now, for those willing and able, if you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
We welcome you in here on the Northstar Network to this broadcast of boys varsity hockey. CNS North Stars playing in their first ever game here this season at the MAC, taking on Bethlehem. Coming into this game, North Star is sitting at 0-1 following a pretty surprising and undisciplined loss to Auburn, who took them down 4-2 at Casey Park on Wednesday night. It is David Cooley matched up on the draw for CNS against Rowan Chamberlain. We're off and underway. This gets dumped in by Dylan Ling. Played down low. Ling picks it up, battling off a couple of checks. Ling makes a move, will get to the middle and shoots one. That one gets blocked away. And it comes out the other side. Sent out of the zone. Good check there by Dylan Ling. Into the offensive zone goes the North Stars. Austin Clark making a play on it. It comes over to David Cooley. Cooley's pass intended for Clark, broken up. And it comes back the other way. That was Seamus Healy who dumped that one up. And before that got dumped in by Chase Scherzer. Down low, picked up by Clark. Gets knocked out of the zone. Here's Cooley into the offensive zone. Cooley, a senior for CNS, coming in this year as one of their most productive juniors of last season. This gets passed to the middle. That shot there from Andrew Gabor, nothing going. And it's battled for on the wall, be sent out up to the point. Held in, or attempted to be held in by Gabe Springer. And here comes Bethlehem the other way. Pass there was deflected on DeRoy, but he was able to get a pad onto it. Big collision there on the wall. Comes up, the pass from Springer is picked off, and the North Stars this time were able to hit it out of the zone. Kalen Brown trying to get on this for CNS, but it comes over. Check there attempted by Gabe Springer. Wasn't unable to get too much on that. This comes forward, and Bethlehem will make the decision to hit this one back. Cook fires this one in deep, and that is Evan Sobolewski, the junior, in pursuit of that, battling for it on the wall. Sobolewski, as that one gets deflected by the North Star. No icing. DeRoy will come out to play it. DeRoy fires it along the wall, gets picked up by CNS. Sobolewski picks it up, and he'll bring it into the neutral zone. Through. He'll dump this one on goal. Save made, and that'll be held by the goaltender for Bethlehem.
Now, a lot of tough time for both of these teams trying to get things going during the shift. You know, they've only been really able to dump it off into the offensive zone.
That got deflected to the middle. Save made there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That was a close one. There's no 31 on my roster for Bethlehem, but that was an incredible save there as Evan Sobolewski denied and close. Big hit there on the wall. A couple of Bethlehem fans wanted a call there. That was number 3, Alex Kirkby, getting in there, a senior from Liverpool. North Stars once again this year partnered up with Liverpool for the season. That shot goes nowhere. Sobolewski hits it out of the zone, and then in pursuit is a player who is not listed on the roster, number 18. That's going to be Jack Bennett. Home Teams Online roster a little inaccurate here early on the season, as always. Comes forward, brought into the neutral zone by Seamus Haley. He'll dump this one, and he gets hit there by Alex Kirkby. Pass comes up. Was played by Austin Clark. It makes its way down the ice. Icing is the sentence. And we will get a face-off back in the Bethlehem zone. Joey, what have you seen so far in this game?
I mean, with the case for most teams when they're trying to feel each other out, it's just been a lot of back and forth. But really, when teams have found themselves controlling in the neutral zone, they haven't been able to really get things going in the offensive zone here. I mean, they're getting some opportunities here when they're getting some face-offs here in the offensive zone. But other than that, both teams have really just been dumping it off and not getting much opportunities. We've seen a couple shots on goal from each team. North Stars leading in that with 3. Only 1 so far for Bethlehem, but not many too early opportunities here.
Into the offense zone goes Bethlehem there. That one went into the leg of the North Star defender. Shot comes out, blocked in the way in. And now another shot. That one goes off the side of the goal. It's played by number 20 for CNS. That was Mason Miller on that one. Up to the point, making a move on that. This one will get played and brought out of the zone by Clark. Sends over to Kirkby. Clark's got to stay on side, but he's unable to do so. Jumps the gun a tiny bit. We get our whistle. North Stars in that Auburn game went up 2-0 pretty quickly. However, they were unable to do much after that, as Auburn did a great job in exposing a couple flaws in CNS in terms of discipline. You have to wonder if that's just an early season thing, but certainly, Joey, and it goes back to that RFA semifinal game last year, where North Stars were undisciplined and as a result lost a game that was competitive aside from the penalties.
Yeah, and, you know, you're still filling
big
each other
collision
out,
there,
Woo.
and that's Gabe Springer, or who took the brunt of that one. He's going to go down. He went into number 19 on Finn McNamara.
Not looking too good for Gabe Springer right now, so we're going to probably step aside here. As some of the Bethlehem players kneeling down.
Springer able to get up off the ice. Hopefully he's okay as Bethlehem brings this into the offensive end. Off the face-off. This will be sent out of the zone all the way down the ice, and it will become an icing against CNS. That was Kalen Brown in pursuit.
Yeah, Killian, as I was saying earlier, you know, about that undisciplined nature the North Stars had last year. Now, they lost a few players, you know, in this offseason, if you will. A lot of seniors, Nate Buston, Chase Miron, obviously Trevor Smith in goal. So we'll see if maybe the new team having to feel things out will help with their disciplined nature. Yeah,
and I noticed there you didn't mention North Star's leading point producer last year, Emmett Porter. Huge
I forgot.
loss.
I had it written down, but Killian had to steal my roster because he printed out his before the first game there. So I gave him my updated roster, but I did have a couple of their stats down there from last year. But yeah,
Emmett Porter last year, 27 goals, 31 assists as this shot gets deflected off the wall.
I mean, he was averaging pretty much 3 points a game, Killian, and that within itself is just impressive.
Yeah, North Star team last year that had the potential to go deep, but was ultimately stopped for the second consecutive year in the sectional semifinal by a really talented RFA team that looks to take over the section this year as West Jenny looks weakened due to the people they lost. This is brought into the offensive zone. Penalty upcoming here to CNS. Shot goes through, and North Stars will touch up. And now we'll get our whistle, and our first penalty of this game will go to CNS. And let's see who they're going to bring to the box here. It's going to be number 16, Kalen Brown, and he will get a slash. So minor penalty for slashing. And the first power play of this game goes to Bethlehem. And Joey, this is where the North Stars are going to make a name for themselves. In these situations, what can you do while you're on penalty kill?
North Stars, you know, there was a couple games where they struggled with it, but overall, the penalty kill last year was decent. Let's see if they can continue it this year. Still got some great defenders, such as Alex Kirkby, Parker Cook on the roster, so we'll see if they can help contribute to this penalty kill here today.
Shot came in there, and DeRoy, he didn't know where it was, had to kind of jump for that one. It'll be flipped up the side there by Landon Russo, the junior defenseman. Fired around, up to the point now, where they will try to make a play on it.
16, Brown, 2 minutes slash.
So 2 minutes for slashing is the official verdict. This gets chipped off the linesman and down the ice, and you could hear somebody on the CNS bench yelling, "Get out of the way." Brought in the other direction by Bethlehem here from the left side. Looking to make a move, stopping. Cervanga's option, centering pass there is picked up by Bethlehem. They continue to work around here in this power play up to the point. They elect not to shoot. Pass down low. Opportunity for Bethlehem here if they can get a little bit of movement going. That one goes off the skate of Russo. Comes back up. Pass down low. Bethlehem's been kind of stuck on this side. Now they'll bounce out of the zone.
Oh.
And here's Kirkby.
Here's an
Kirkby,
opportunity.
all alone. Makes his way in. He's hooked.
Oh, man.
Hooked, and that will be stopped. Great save there by the goaltender that's not listed on the roster for Bethlehem. But North Stars are going to get a power play. It's going to be a high stick. Excuse me, that was Dylan Ling there, not Alex Kirkby.
But I was just about to say, speaking of Alex Kirkby, one of my favorite games from last year, I got to say, it was the Ithaca game. Johnny was back. And that was quite an incredible game. A lot of goals scored in that one. One of them being Alex Kirkby's shorthanded goal, which hit off the post. And you know, that's seared in my memory forever. I can remember hearing that ding, Killian, and I remember that call very vividly. One of my favorite games to call, and one of my favorite calls that I ever made. And Alex Kirkby now out there outside the face-off circle. So
4-on-4 action upcoming here for the next 35 seconds. It gets fired down the ice. Officials deem no icing as they believe it deflected off of Kirkby. Here's Jake Roskoff with it. Roskoff nearly coughed it up, but it was able to get it over to Andrew Gabor.
Now let's see what the North Stars can do with a little bit more room on the ice.
Good move there by Kirkby.
Wow.
Into the offensive zone. Kirkby sent it to the middle.
Man.
Oh, looking for Gabor to knock it down. Comes up to the point now, and the captain, Dylan Ling, sends this one down low. Kirkby tried to get to that one. Maybe a little bit of an intimidation tactic. Forced the Bethlehem player to fire that one all the way down the ice. It's an icing, and it is now a power play for the North Stars for the next 1:24, their first of this game. And
now Killian, you watched that first game. I don't even know. Did the North Stars have any penalties or power plays, and how was their effectiveness in that one?
Yeah, North Star power play in that game was pretty solid. They were able to move the puck around, get some good shots. My memory's not serving me properly. I can't remember if any of their goals were scored on the power play. I don't believe they were, but they were able to get their opportunities when they had them, even though they were limited against that Auburn team. And let's see what they can do here. This is a bit of a shortened one compared to normal. Played along the side. It's Kalen Brown in there trying to dig at it. He's got Andrew Gabor with him. Gabor and a player whose turn earned, so I can't see what number he is. Here's Gabor. Makes a move. Gabor shoots, deflects off the crossbar and out of play. Good job there by Gabor to just recognize the opportunity to get that shot off.
North Stars still about a minute left in this power play, so still a lot of time to make something develop here.
Here's Gabor looking over that one intended for Evan Sobolewski, and that's going to get chipped by Sobolewski, and it's opportunity for Bethlehem. Shorthanded opportunity. They send it through to crease, nothing going there. And that's going to nail the official. And so CNS will pick it up off a bit of a unorthodox breakout. Into the offensive zone now.
Great move.
Gabor makes a move. Gabor for the stop. And the backhander just did not go. Was looking top right, and he found top right, but a little too far to the right as it ended up hitting the side of the goal. And that'll be held by Bethlehem. But what a close opportunity early on, Joey.
I mean, what a great play by Gabor. What, he sneaked by 3 defenders there in that case? I mean, great skating skills there by Gabor. And then once he sneaks past, he gets a little bit of breakaway speed, just not able to get the backhanded top shelfer to go.
Face off. And a bit of a misplay there by Clark. It comes out of the zone. Into the offensive end, Russo lays a check. It comes over to Kirkby. Kirkby picks it up. He'll fire this one up, and he'll take the hit, but able to make the play. Clark trying to get it forward. This will get fired in, but it was played by a Bethlehem stick, so wouldn't have been an icing anyways. Now Bethlehem fires it down, and due to the icing rule on a penalty kill, no icing. Kirkby from behind his own net. Looks up. Finds Cooley. Cooley looks across the middle. And that one is played by Landon Russo. Russo down low. This gets sent around. Cooley trying to get into that, but it's picked up by Bethlehem. They come out the other direction. 2-on-2. Moving in. Save made by DeRoy, and a little bit of extra contact on that one, but both players able to keep a cool head in that situation. 7:12 left to go here in our first period of play. And Joey, I think the story of this period's been pretty obvious, right?
A lot of back and forth, Killian. A lot of missed opportunities from both teams. You know, he got the ball.
This goes down the ice. Opportunity for CNS from the side. That one was stopped. Rebound comes out to Gabor, and the wraparound opportunity couldn't get to go. It was Gabe Springer the initial chance, and Gabor picked up the rebound but couldn't get that one to go. And now Gabor fired in. Springer got there. He gets hit there, and a little bit of an extra chirp after the play by the Bethlehem defender, who was able to recognize the incoming hit. Springer loses his stick trying to make a hit. Now this comes up, and there's a check by Gabor. Comes down the ice. Northstar's very physical team, Joey.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of big hits here, but Bethlehem not short of big hits themselves. You know, obviously, unfortunate Springer had the big hit, but he's back out there on the ice, and he seems to be doing just fine. But, yeah, Bethlehem just having a lot of responses to the Northstar's physicality here early on.
Here's a line we haven't seen much of today out on the ice for the North Stars. Cook fires this off the wall. It's played by Lachaume Jr. into the offensive zone. Lachaume on the forecheck. He'll step in but unable to land the check as it was cleared out before he could get there. This gets hit up, and this gets fired off. A North Star skate down the ice. It's a foot race for the puck. Kirkby will pick it up for CNS. North Stars wearing their new green road jersey, say big hit there. That was Jack Bennett getting in there and laying the check. It comes up the other side. Lachaume trying to make a move on that. Coming on in. Bennett steps in. He makes another hit, his second one.
Jeez.
But that's going to be a penalty. And it will be interference as the official deemed that there was not a reason to make contact. And I can't say I disagree with him there. A bit of a late check. And so North Stars will pick up a penalty here on this one. Jack Bennett looking for a second big hit of the shift. Gets it, but this time the official says that's not legal.
Not going to slide under their rules here.
Second power play of the day for Bethlehem. 0 for 1 so far with one shot on goal.
But you got to remember, Killian, a lot of that eventually became even strength. They didn't get a full power play on that first one. So, yes, statistically 0 for 1 here. But let's see if they, unless we get a penalty on them, we'll see if they can make do with a full power play.
Here we go. Let's see what Bethlehem can do. They got to try to get North Stars out of position, but immediately a disaster for Bethlehem as CNS will just dump this one right in. That'll be played there. Clark on this one. Clark's got a brace for a check, so he'll end up giving that one away. And into the offensive zone goes Bethlehem. Bit of a 3-on-2 there, not much going there. Russo steps in, he'll make the check. This goes out of the zone. Bethlehem captain tried to jump up to get that one, and Clark was actually first in line to get to that puck. Play from the side, pass back. Bethlehem trying to set things up here to break into the offensive zone.
North Stars resetting there on defense.
Shooting one there, and DeRoy traps that.
Now talking about these new away jerseys, Killian, you know what they reminded me? Dallas Stars.
They do. They do give off that vibe with the green, and obviously the blue's a little hard to see at this distance. So, yeah, I can see that.
The Dallas Stars, they do they're green on top as well, but the stripes and everything, it just kind of same shade of green as well. And hey, the North Stars are stars, so kind of works.
I gets dumped down in, and I have to say, Joe, I'm a bit surprised they didn't stick with the black or go over to blue.
Yeah,
but little experimentation here from CNS this season, I guess, with the uniforms. As Bethlehem breaks into the offensive zone, stepping through, that gets sent out of the zone. Trying to get to that was Dylan Ling, who the C that's stitched onto his jersey is actually halfway falling off.
Oh, jeez.
As this gets deflected out of play by Jake Raskoff. Last time there was a hockey game called on the Northstar Network, any type of hockey, I think just over a month ago, where North Stars field hockey went up to Camden to play in the sectional semifinal, where a last-second goal from Baldwinsville ended their season. Haven't had any form of hockey since then. And now the ice season has begun as a hit there from Russo. He was unable to get all of that. Up to the point now. Looking. Sent down. Back up to the point. North Stars starting to get stretched a little bit. They got to maintain their shape. Shot comes in, goes through the crease and wide. Play behind the net, making a move on that was one of the Eagles, but it's going to be picked up by the North Stars. However, this comes back right to Bethlehem. Penalty has expired, so North Stars back to 5-on-5. Shot there, saved DeRoy, he holds. And we'll get a few shoves after that one as a couple players came together. And we'll see here if the officials decide to do anything. It doesn't look like they have. So North Stars kill off their second their second penalty of the game. Face-off will be from DeRoy's perspective to his right. Face-off taken and one, sent around down low, and shot through. Nothing going there. Gabor gets onto this one. He's engaged in the battle. The puck kind of locked on the wall. Gabor turns. He'll fire this one down the ice, and it will not become an icing. Getting to that was CNS. Here's an opportunity for CNS for Gabe Springer, but he was unable to drag that one to the front. Played around from the side now. Bethlehem looking. No goals here on this game for either team. North Stars have had quite a bit of offensive possession, but Bethlehem's closing that gap. Shots on goal aren't even, as that one's swallowed up by DeRoy. He holds. The Cooley, Ling, and Clark line back on the ice for the North Stars. That shot does not go. Played around from the side.
Yeah, North Stars,
even
after getting back to full strength, haven't been able to get anything going.
And North Stars there. Parker Cook had to be careful. He didn't pick up a holding penalty there. Was able to release it just before the official call it. You could hear the official there screaming, let go, giving him a warning. This comes forward from the side. Here's Clark, sets up in the offensive zone. Clark to the middle, nothing going there. Comes out the other way. And here comes Bethlehem from the left side. Tries to get in on Cook. Big hit there in the middle, as that was Dylan Ling who tried to get in to make a check, but ended up getting reversed. Here's Parker Cook, dodges a hit. Austin Benkowski fires this one up. It deflects out of play. And Joey, when we talk about Section 3 ice hockey this year, I think the big storyline is that West Jenny looks pretty weakened this year compared to previous seasons. It's opened the door for a lot of these teams to kind of make a statement this time around.
And, you know, we were talking about prior to the game, Beeville looking like they're going to become a threat here. And, yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say, Killian?
Yeah, Beeville, they had that huge 9-0 victory over Fusion, who, granted, Fusion's not a very good team this season. But putting up 9 goals in your home opener certainly is a testament to your team's willpower and your ability to score. They had 2 of those goals under a minute into the game.
Wow.
Specifically, Rylan McCollum and Alessio McGrain looking like big threats this year offensively for that squad. This one's blown dead for offside.
Interesting they didn't call that one earlier, Killian. Looked like Gabor tried to keep it, tried to straddle the blue line, but looked like it went out, and then they let him bring it back in, and then they whistled it quite later, so not quite sure about that.
Joe Canella, our color commentator for our second, or one of our color commentators for our second game today. Actually, I'll hold that thought. Here's Springer to the offensive zone. Springer shooting, save made. That is held, and a Bethlehem player slides into the goal and takes it out. Springer points and laughs as he skates by.
And that's going to ruin it now, as now it's seven shots on goal for the North Stars, 7 for Bethlehem.
Yeah, one of our members who's working the later game with FM and Saranac was pointing out that the shots on goal were on the scoreboard we're listed as 6-7. And yeah, the Northstar Network is in. This is loose in front of the net. Can they get to it? They score!
They sneak that one through.
It's Andrew Gabor. 1-0 CNS. 15:56 into the first period of play.
With the extra effort off the rebound, and there is a wide open spot there. Again, we don't know the goalie for Bethlehem, but just didn't get over there. It's almost like he lost sight of the puck, Killian, and then he managed to get over there in time, but a lot of North Stars got in there and poked it through. And
what a finish there, though, for Gabor. We'll see who this ends up getting credit to, as I was unsure if the initial shot, which came from Kalen Brown, ended up in, or if it took another
Yeah,
Whack
wasn't
at
quite-
it. Oh, that
man.
one was put in front. Gabe Springer nearly had a 2-0 shot there.
Scored by number 16.
All right, so it's going to be Kalen Brown.
And it's going to be Kalen Brown that's going to get that goal, yeah. So the celebration was from Gabor, so that's why I assumed he had knocked it in, but it just went right in from Brown.
And you can see Brown was poking around there on the left side of the net. And that's where, again, goalie for Bethlehem, number 31, he shifted over, lost track of the puck for a second. It looked like he realized it was to his left side, had the wide open net. He managed to get there in time, but just great effort by Kalen Brown to fight for it and poke it through and get the goal for the North Stars.
It takes a lot of knocking on both sides for either of these goalies to finally break, and it's finally we have our first goal of this game. Bethlehem there had an opportunity for one, but they were unable to get the secondary shot off. Comes the other way. Here's David Cooley. Cooley will just flick this one into the offensive zone. On net too, and it'll be held. So North Stars will get offensive zone face-off, 15.5 left to go. And so directing traffic is Dylan Ling, trying to set up a play here. If there's less time on the clock, you might see the North Stars pull their goalie to try to get something here with 10 seconds, with under 10 seconds left, but with 15 seconds on the clock, that's not going to happen. This will be flicked out of the zone, and it will become an icing. So now you might see that happen with 4.9 on the clock, and let's see. It does not look like they will do so, so that'll be the end of the first period for Andrew Gabor, who's headed off to the locker room a little early. Looks a little shaken up there, maybe after that last shift. Final 3 seconds tick off. Battled for by the North Stars. Trying to get one more shot. They are unable to get it, as the last second attempt from Dylan Ling was blocked on the way in. That is it for the first period of play. Joey, what did you see there in that first period? What do you think is going to be the overall message for both teams going into the locker room here?
Well, I think they just need to clean some things up, especially in the neutral zone. Just we haven't seen much change in possession in the neutral zone. It's just been a lot of flicks, a lot of just trying to clear it out. We've seen some icing. Some of them just managed to slow down, and then just teams move on transition. But I think what's going to talk about is just trying to hold the puck a little bit more. Maybe we haven't seen a lot of we've seen a lot of opportunities, but we haven't seen a lot of big plays being developed. You just see teams moving quickly, just kind of going full steam ahead into the offensive zone, and then the North Stars getting lucky there. Just the extra effort from Kalen Brown to poke that one through. But I think that the overall message for both teams heading in the locker room is just try to hold the puck a little bit longer, let the plays develop, and let the lanes open up for themselves.
Well said, Joey. But with that, we will head to intermission here. North Stars lead 1-0 at the break. Shots on goal 10-7. We will be back at about 12:30. We welcome you into the Northstar Network here for second period action. The North Stars currently lead the Bethlehem Eagles 1-0 following one period of action. I'm Killian Heffron, joined alongside by my color commentator, Joey Cox. Joey, what do you think in this second period, in terms of physicality, what do you think the message and the response is going to be that Bethlehem tries to send?
Well, I mean, the North Stars have just been hard hitters this entire first period, and I think second period here, Bethlehem's already had some pretty good responses, but they've slowed down a little bit physically. I think they need to start getting some bigger hits in. Obviously don't want to get penalties, but within reason, I think they need to come out hitting a little bit harder than the North Stars, or very similar to the North Stars did in that first period. I think that's how they're going to definitely force the puck away and get some takeaways, Killian.
Bethlehem definitely has been, they've had their physical moments, but North Stars in general have been the ones laying more hits. Mm-hmm. They've been the ones winning battles for pucks. So this will be a big question, I think, here for the second period. What is the response from Bethlehem? North Stars lead this one 1-0 off the goal from Kalen Brown. We are ready to go for our second period of action. It's David Cooley on the draw to start us off. Both teams kicking the boards. We are underway here in the second period. It's blasted forward into the offensive zone for Bethlehem. It comes around on the wall, played by Dylan Ling. He was unable to completely corral. It goes around. Bit of a odd decision there by a couple of Northstar defenders there as they end up skating around the net in the effort to get to the puck. Here's Link. He is able to dodge the check there. And now here's Clark. Clark turning, and the pass there was off the mark. Couldn't tell if that was intended for Ling or intended for Cooley. And now here's Cooley shooting one that's wide. Played from the side. This gets dumped into the CNS end behind the red line tonight against Bethlehem. First one of this second period of action. So Gabe Springer and Austin Benkowski picking up assists on that first North Star goal. They just made a amendment to that first one. Face off, won by CNS, shot there. That's a big block. That's Kalen Brown there with a shot, and he really just he might have gotten clipped by a stick, I think, on the way back up.
And, Killian, I just came to memory here. Jace Knoop, one of the big North Star playmakers last year on defense. He left the district because I was thinking of seniors who graduated, but completely forgetting about Jace Knoop, how he left the district. I forget where he moved. I think Florida somewhere tropic, but or somewhere with better weather at least. But he was a big playmaker on defense for the North Stars. So
yeah, North Stars definitely going to be missing him this year. Would have been a senior season. CNS there nearly got caught with a hold on Jake Roskoff, but he was able to let go in time. And there's a good hit by Bethlehem, able to step up and make a statement there. Comes through. Here's Gabe Springer. Springer leads Kalen Brown. And Brown unable to get to that one. It's sent on. Springer comes in and lands a hit, yeah. but he gets kind of reversed afterwards. Official was right there though. I believe that is Eric Unglich, the official for that was in front of that one. I've worked a couple games with him in my time.
Yeah, this seems to be the problem for both teams, is really getting things going.
And we're going to get a penalty here. And Joey, that's one of the things that CNS was having trouble with in the last game, just undisciplined plays. That's one right there.
Yep.
And let's see who they're going to take here. I believe Bethlehem may have picked up one as well. No, they did not. So Bethlehem. And yeah, so they're going to take Andrew Gabor. But no, they will take someone from Bethlehem too. So Gabor's going to go to the box. You saw him there come down with a cross check on the back of the Bethlehem player who took exception to it. But Joey, just an undisciplined play.
Yeah, the North Stars just need to play a little bit cleaner than that. They again, they're a very physical team, but they just need to know when to call it quits. Now it's just technically offsetting here, so it's not going to do much. No Not even a 4-on-4, just...
Yeah, 5-on-5 off the Coincidental Miners. Into the offensive zone. Clark's bumped off that one. Good defense from Bethlehem, but this comes up. Opportunity. Kirkby brings it along. Looking for room. Kirkby from the side. Send it to the middle. It bounces in front. It's still loose. Still trying to find it where the North Stars. It goes off of one of the Bethlehem players' backs, and now they'll come out of the zone. CNS had several opportunities to get to that. We got a penalty upcoming here against Bethlehem. They're going to get a retaliatory slash, and so North Stars will go to the power play. It's going to be off the retaliation here on Bethlehem that they're going to catch them.
So North Stars here, another power play opportunity. But as I was saying earlier, Killian, before those two minor penalties there from both teams, the North Stars and Bethlehem really been struggling at center ice, really been struggling in the neutral zone on transition, especially on off. You know, like you've seen it there. You just saw it there before that, or I think just after the slash, because the slash occurred back in Bethlehem's defensive zone there, I believe. But you know, you see it like this kind of transition here. Not much is going
Big
for
hit
either
by
team.
Clark, able to ride him into the wall with the hip check. And this comes out of the zone. But Joey, like you were saying, it's been one of those games though, hasn't it? It's just been a lot of that going on. Set to the middle, opportunity. Oh man, that was a great save there. Comes up to the point, shot comes in from Russo, save made there. We got a big collision in the middle as Clark went into one of the Bethlehem defenders. The physicality is definitely going up, and there's some chirping in the box between the players that are currently in there. You saw them here. I don't know if it was caught on the camera, but you can visually see them barking at each other inside the penalty box. Joey, it's been one of those games too. It's going to start to get chippy. Got to keep your composure if you're both sides here. Shot comes in, save made, rebound, out, and that one just didn't have enough on it there from Evan Sobolewski. That's going to get sent down the ice. No icing off the penalty kill.
But you're going to see, yeah, like you were saying, Killian, it's going to start to get a little bit chippy. Players are going to start to get a little bit chirpy as well, and really and that's where you start to see those really undisciplined penalties.
Penalty upcoming here, it's going to be against, and it'll be a hook here against Bethlehem. Or no, they'll get him for a high stick, but either way, he impeded his progress. So a hook or a high stick would have sufficed. And it's a 5-on-3 for 1 minute for CNS, their first 5-on-3 of this season. Boston Joy, they're doing some sprints to get to the box to try to get the extra man on during the delayed penalty, but was unable to get there in time. And he will have to retreat back to his goal.
A huge opportunity here. Ice is going to feel a little bit more empty, and North Star's got a lot of places to go.
And the CNS bench can feel it. You can hear him kicking the boards. Offside against the North Stars, so they'll have to clear the zone. They'll fire this one down the ice, and North Stars will have to regain possession. That'll kill up 15 seconds as the North Stars now have to start breaking out. However, not much pressure here from Bethlehem as they elect to stay back and not try to overcommit to this puck. Into the offensive zone here from the side, shot off the side of the goal. And you can see all I believe those are the FM players, or the Liverpool students, excuse me, that came to this game that were hitting the boards after that one. They thought Kalen Brown had his second of the game, but the side of the net was what that one ended up making contact with.
Anytime you see net movement, Killian, you always get excited, but
Kirkby off the post! Oh, man! A snapshot from the point, couldn't get it. Oh, man, that was close. Just could not get that one.
That's the exact sound I remember from when he had a shorthanded goal.
Clark, save made. North Stars drive the net, but we get a whistle. 10 seconds remain on that 5-on-3.
But they'll still have about a minute left, Killian, of the regular power play, so still some time remaining.
But, I mean, Joey, if they're unable to get one here on this 5-on-3, an extended 5-on-3 at that, it's going to feel like a wasted opportunity, regardless of if they have that 5-on-4 or not. Here's Clark making a move. That's picked up. Here comes Bethlehem the other way. That was a good job by Russo there to bluff the hit to get the Bethlehem player to back off. Smart play there by Russo. As that's going to be sent through, here's Clark in the offensive zone. Clark had Cooley, but that's taken away. Bethlehem will try to clear it out of the zone. Not back in. Right to Cooley. However, that one escapes his stick. It goes down the ice. North Stars will have to reset. 12:06 left to go.
Just over 30 seconds left in this power play. And Killian, again, you're saying wasted 5-on-3 here by the North Stars. Got to hope they maybe get something going here in this last few seconds of the power play, but
bit of a bad time for a change there. This will just go all the way down the ice. It'll be Austin Benkowski.
Looks like they're probably going to get nothing out of that one.
He'll leave it to Gabor. Gabor, he's got speed. Gabor cuts through the middle into the offensive zone. Gabor still with the puck. Around at the bottom of the circle, wraps it, nothing going there. Comes up to the point now. Shot comes in, deflects high over the net. That was a shot from number 13, Austin Benkowski. Gabor, even strength. Here comes Bethlehem out the other direction. This will get fired up, and that one will go down the ice. It'll become an icing against Bethlehem. And so the Eagles not a single shot on goal so far here in this second period of action.
But it's been a lot of, you had that early penalty, which, you had the 2 early penalties, which coincidental minors there to, so it didn't change the strength of it, but then you get the North Stars get a power play, then they get a 5-on-3, then a continuation of the power play, and not much going for Bethlehem.
Oh, what a hit there on the side. That was Austin Benkowski that got knocked down. Now it bounced out to the middle. They score! Kalen Brown is second of the game. North Stars lead at 2-0.
Kalen Brown, 3 on the season, 2 here tonight, and he has been making some plays here for the North Stars offense. The first one, he managed to get his stick in and poked it. This one, just great execution there. A little bit of a top shelfer there.
And the student section beginning to get to the Bethlehem goaltender. Little bit of taunting going down there in the student section. And Joey, I think the only place I've actually seen that happen in real life, other than here obviously, was in RFA. During the, not last year's semifinal, but a year before that, where the RFA student section began to get to the goaltender. We'll see if that has an effect on anything here.
And you see, Liverpool and North Star fans have shifted sides with the Bethlehem goaltender. So, sticking with him to try to get to his head.
Oh, wow, there's a hit attempted on Landon Russo. Russo, one of the bigger players on North Stars, and a lot of that, but a player got right in front of the net, and Russo nearly kicked it into his own net. Oh, man. What an odd sequence there. And Russo there actually flipped a stick out of one of the Bethlehem players' hands. Could have gotten called for that one, but they let it go. Into the offensive end goes Bethlehem now, looking to respond. Shot from the top of the circles, deflects wide. And Russo lays a hit, and nothing going there. That one comes up to the point. Shot comes in, deflects, save, rebound! Through the crease, nothing going. Here's Sobolewski to relieve the pressure. He fires it up to Braden Murray. Murray shoots, save made. Here's Murray, dumps it around. And it'll be picked up. That shot gets deflected across the middle. Trying to get a hit on that was Dylan Ling. Here's picked up by Ling. He tried to get a shot there, ends up going down. North Stars feeling the momentum in their favor. Shot from Cook goes wide. It comes back up where it will be played by Jack Bennett. Gives it down low. At the point there was Kirkby. To Clark, back to Kirkby, shoots high, bounced it on that, but they couldn't get a stick on it. Now it goes down the ice, and icing will be called by the official. 9:08 left to go. Joey, the momentum of this game has finally evolved into what we knew it could be.
Yeah, and it was really contested in the first period. A lot of back and forth. Shots on goal remained even for most of it, and now just drastic shift for the North Stars. They nearly have double Bethlehem shots on goal. Bethlehem sits with 9, and North Stars again nearly double with 17. 2 of those shots on goal finding its way into the back of the net.
Oh, what a hit
by
there.
Kirkby.
That was Kirkby, but he'll get called for that one. And we'll see what the decision is for the sentence. And it's going to be an elbow. He definitely got the elbow up high when he came in. You can't do that. So Bethlehem, a big opportunity, Joey, to shift that momentum that we were just talking about back into their favor.
We'll see if they can, get some quality shots on goal here.
And so this is where we learn the North Stars' character in these situations. They've been able to stay out of the box here for the second period, but this time they'll get they'll get called, or been able to say 5-on-5 per se, as they took a penalty earlier in the game in this period. And so, let's see. Shot there goes through the crease and wide. Clark trying to get up to that. Clark was on the ice before this, so maybe some tired legs here out for the North Stars. Benkowski chops at that one, but it comes down low. Opportunity for Bethlehem. Pass up to the point. It comes over. Shooting one, that goes wide.
North Stars, Bethlehem doing a great job here trying to really stretch out the North Stars because, that's really what you want on a penalty kill. You want to keep a tight box formation. You want to...
Point there, glove saved by DeRoy as David Cooley was challenging the shot, but it got through him. Might have taken a little deflection off his stick. DeRoy says no.
But yeah, Killian, Bethlehem, you saw it on some earlier power plays for Bethlehem. North Stars still doing a good job on the penalty kill, just Bethlehem doing a great job stretching the North Stars out because you really want to keep a tight formation in front of the net, try to block as many passing lanes as possible.
That one nearly bounced into the bench. It'll be blown dead for offside. North Stars, they're able to get a little more heat on that. That one's all the way down the ice, and they waste some time, but faceoff will just come outside the zone. And Joey, the system that the officials use here, a bit different than you normally see. It's a 3-official system, which isn't unheard of, but it's 2 referees and 1 linesman. That's right. One of Section 3 hockey, I think, is one of the only places that I've actually seen that in use. But in a physical sport like varsity hockey, it is important as Benkowski fires that one all the way down the ice, but it takes a positive bounce for Bethlehem and giving them possession right back. From the circle, pass up.
Our Stars need to reset
Lynch
here.
steps in, he'll make a hit there, and this comes out the other direction. Here comes Bethlehem for the side, turning at the corner, trying to get this one out. North Stars got to contain their shape. They're starting to get pulled out of it. Pass up to the point, has a lane, shot deflects wide. And it deflects right, and it bounces right into DeRoy's glove where he'll hold 27 seconds remaining on the penalty. Joey, this North Star penalty kill today has been very solid.
Yeah, honestly, they're not giving Bethlehem many shots on goal here. They only got 1 shot on goal in this entire power play, and we're nearly through here with 25 seconds left, and the North Stars managed to send that one away once more.
That gets by. Here's Gabor. A short-handed opportunity. He's clipped. Gabor still on the puck. Still on the puck. Now he'll look up to the point. Shooting one. Save made. That was Austin Benkowski on the shot. Now also get fired up. Parker Cook's the only one back. It's a one-on-one foot race, but the puck takes a bounce in Cook's favor, and he gives that one right up in a big hit. They're coming at penalty upcoming, yep. and there's going to be an unsportsmanlike on Bethlehem, and now this will draw a crowd.
Got some shoves there on Austin Benkowski.
That's the second time today Springer's down. And so it looks like there's going to be penalties on both teams here. However, number 20 on Bethlehem is going to get at least 2 as he picked up the initial penalty for the head and then picked up an unsportsmanlike after. As you saw the official here, if you're those of you who aren't familiar with unsportsmanlike conduct signal in hockey, it's the same thing as a technical foul signal in basketball. But you saw the official immediately blow his whistle and tee him up. So we will see here what the decision is. North Star, what I expect here is maybe 2 minutes of 4-on-4 and then another 2-minute power play for the North Stars, but we'll see what they get here. Springer able to get up. Second time he's taken a big hit today.
As Brian Buckland, our athletic trainer here at CNS, attending to him. But yeah, he's getting up on his own accord here. So
all right, North Star's got to keep their composure. You saw Andrew Gabor waving at the penalty box. The officials see that. They will give you a penalty. So it's going to be a major against Bethlehem. So it's going to get a major. I believe it'll be for charging, which does carry I believe it carries an automatic major in Section 3. But don't quote me on that. We'll see what the officials state. So it's 5 on 3 or 4. They're waving one off.
4, it looks like it's going to be.
So yeah, it's 5-on-4, so a major penalty against Bethlehem. Northstar's a 5-minute power play. It's non-releasable, so they can score as many times as they want.
Yep.
Here we go, big opportunity to put this one in a chokehold shot, goes over to net, hits the back of the net afterwards. And that'll be trapped down there. So waiting on the announcement of what the penalties actually are.
So only about 2 minutes of even strength will be left, Killian, when we're done.
Yeah, exactly 2 minutes actually. 6:40.
Actually it'd be 150.
150. For some reason I assumed that was a 4 instead of a 5 on the clock. Face-off is 1, up to the point now. It gets dumped in. Northstars, they have time in this situation here to set up a power play. Don't have to rush. See what they can do. Here's Clark. Steps, turns around. Clark makes a move. Looks up to the point. Landon Russo. Back down to Clark. Clark from the side drops it down low to Cooley, and that came in front. Nothing going there. Kirkby shot there. That one stopped. Link comes in, and he'll lay a hit. This goes down the ice. Boston DeRoy out to play it. It comes up. Missing the kick was one of the Bethlehem players. So here's Ling. Hands over to Cooley. Cooley looking. Pass over. Kirkby steps. Save. Rebound comes out. Nothing going there, and it makes its way out, or not out of the zone. Good hold by Landon Russo. Back up to Russo at the point. Shooting one. That got blocked. Russo dumps it in. And stepping into that there was Ling, who went for a check. Northstars have to get out of the zone here, and they're able to. That pass comes out as it deflected. Here's Kirkby. He'll carry it in and shoot. Gets deflected wide. Kirkby picks it up, flicks it on goal. Save made. Brown. He shot there from Gabor. It's loose in front. Nothing going there. Penalty upcoming on Bethlehem. It's going to be a full 2-minute 5-on-3. Woo. And oh no, so I believe, never mind, it will not. I believe they're going to take Gabor. I believe they're going to take a Springer here too for either unsportsmanlike or something else. So I don't think this will have any loss of manpower.
Coincidental minors here.
Yeah. And Joey, that's what we're saying though. With you got to stay disciplined. That's a huge situation. You can't get caught in the heat of the moment.
Yep. The Northstars are just getting a little bit too chippy when it comes. They're getting, they're drawing penalties here on Bethlehem, and then they're talking back to them. They're making some unnecessary plays of their own, and it's leading to this these unnecessary penalties for the Northstars.
Northstar head coach Dan Jones getting an explanation. It'll remain 5-on-4. Still a power play for CNS, but could have been much more. Face-off taken in, it's 1. Pass up to the point. Here's Sobolewski. Gives it on over. Kirkby surveys his options. Kirkby, he'll just walk in and shoot. Deflect, save made. Rebound in front, that's held. Colin Anderson was in there. Face-off taken in 1. This gets passed up, blocked on the wall, up to the point, but it deflects out of the zone, and Bethlehem gets a huge clearance. DeRoy gives it to Sobolewski, who will control it and bring it up the middle of the ice. Sobolewski makes the pass over. Check there. This will go down low. Here's Kirkby. Brings it forward. Kirkby.
And now less than 3 minutes here in this major power play, if you will.
Sobolewski over the shot there from Kalen Brown. Nothing going. Brown looking for a hat trick on the day. Brown flicks it across. Sobolewski misplayed it. He will have to quickly make a decision here, and this one will make its way out of the zone. Bit of a misplay there from Sobolewski. Northstars will make a couple of changes. Anderson comes off, and Ling will replace him. 2:20 left here. As you can see there, Northstars were resting their top power play unit to give them another shift. And here they come onto the ice. It's Kalen Brown. 2 goals already on the day for him. Walks around. Gives it over. Gabor to the middle. Shot there from Ling. That one goes high. Here's Brown on it. Makes a move. Bit of a miscommunication. Kirk be able to step to that. This will get fired all the way down the ice on net, where DeRoy will leave it for Dylan Ling. Ling makes the pass up. CNS in pursuit. This one makes its way all the way down, and that's going to get blocked by DeRoy. 3:30 left here in the second period of play. Almost 14 minutes gone by here in the second. North Stars have widened their lead. It's 2-0. Off the goal from Kalen Brown. From the side, it's Ling. Continues, and we'll like to hit it up to the point there. Shot.
One-timer.
Yeah, shot from Chase Monahan. Nothing going in there. Oh, there's a big move. Opportunity, and a save by DeRoy.
Big-time save for DeRoy. It was just him.
And a shorty there would have worked wonders for this momentum, but
here comes another opportunity.
Moving in, shot there got blocked by Jake Roskoff, who will tap this one out of the zone.
And now less than a minute left in this power play, Killian, and got to think the North Stars are getting to crunch time here. I mean, 5 minutes potentially wasted if they don't get something on goal.
If anything, this just tired out Bethlehem's legs, but Bethlehem, they got a big bench. It's not exactly going to hurt them too much. North Stars, they got to get a goal here. Already leading 2-0, but they would like that insurance marker. Passed over, intended for Roskoff, does not get complete. And so North Stars will make a couple of changes here. Into the offensive zone, or no, nothing going there. As it's picked up by Clark, who hands it over to Kalen Brown. Brown makes the pass up. Into the offensive zone, go to North Stars. Bit of a collision there. Side looking for his options.
And that's going to do it for the power play for the North Stars.
Power play comes to an end. Kirkby shoots. Oh, that one had the top left marked on it, but just missed wide in the net. He had space. Kirkby shoots again, and he's going to catch Gabor in front of the net. Nothing going there. And here comes Bethlehem to break out of the zone, down the ice, and we will get an icing. A huge penalty kill for Bethlehem. 5 straight minutes of pressure. Nothing to show for it for CNS.
Yeah, Bethlehem just doing an excellent job. I mean, the North Stars definitely here today. You know, they're getting the puck moving on the power play. I'll give them that, but they're getting similar opportunities that they are in even strength, and they're converting in even strength, but not in the power play. So you'd think it'd be the other way around, but not in this case for the North Stars, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Even strength goals are always a good thing, but.
Big collision there on the wall, and we get a penalty upcoming to Bethlehem. Or no, yeah, it is on Bethlehem, and the shot there after the whistle. And so it's going to be interference against Bethlehem. I believe it's for when they flip the stick out of the North Stars' hand. And so this will make it another power play for CNS. This one will carry over into the third period, Joey. But what an opportunity here. And we said this earlier. What an opportunity to get a goal before the period's out.
Yep. And potentially, even if you don't, carries over into the third, and you can come back with a 5-on-4 and try to score early in the third.
And here we go. Let's see what they can do. Kirkby, step, shoots, deflects wide. Now it's battled for in front, will be picked up out of the zone by Landon Russo. Kirkby into the offensive zone. He's got room. Kirkby will elect to cut around behind the net. Up to the point. Russo, a 2D man here, just playing catch. Now they'll give it over to Ling, who shot his glove down. Shots on goal, 19-11 in favor of CNS. 38.2 left in the period. CNS, an opportunity here to take a 3-0 lead. However, the power play will carry over if they're unsuccessful. Here's Evan Sobolewski. Gives it down low. Brown up to the point now. Benkowski. Benkowski sends it down low. Back to Brown. Springer. Up to Sobolewski. Surveys his options. They got 20 seconds. Sobolewski moves, looking. Good defense by Bethlehem, not giving him the shooting lane. Over to Benkowski. Here in the Northstar Network. We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network on YouTube for the third period of action between the CNS North Stars and the Bethlehem Eagles. North Stars lead 2-0 off of 2 goals from Killian Brown. And Joey, the story of this game really has just been that CNS, when they've gotten their opportunities, they've been able to capitalize on some of them. Not all of them, as we saw a missed 5-minute power play that they were unable to capitalize upon. But they've been able to put pucks into the net, and Bethlehem just hasn't been able to do that tonight.
Yeah, there's been a lot of missed opportunities, some great saves by DeRoy, and Bethlehem again just missing some of those opportunities they've had. Now, granted, they're just about half as much shots on goal as the North Stars. North Stars sit with 20 and the Eagles with 12, but still, you know, those 12 have been some pretty solid opportunities and not able to send any of them in the back of the net.
34 minutes down, 17 to go, underway in the third period. CNS in their road green and Bethlehem in their technically road black. Both teams wearing colored today for some reason. Unsure why. Anyways, here's Gabor. Sends it along. Shooting! That one did not go. And Springer had the stick knocked out of his hand, and he was protesting to the official.
Looked like that shot got deflected a little bit, Killian.
Yeah, might have taken a deflection that caused it to take a bit of an odd path that the goaltender wasn't expecting. But alas, it remains 2-0. This pass up intended for Gabor is out of his reach, icing. The student section has reemerged behind the Bethlehem goaltenders. He continues to say hello to them, much to their happiness.
Just shaking his head. 11 seconds left on this power play for the North Stars.
CNS, they started this on the power play, had one chance early on, but were forced to take a defensive zone draw. Here's Clark into the offensive zone. Turns, makes a move. Passed along. Benkoski sent that one on, that save made. It comes back the other way. And now here comes Bethlehem. A one-on-one, Clark trying to get back. Shooting from the side, that hit the crossbar and it goes out of play. Inches away from making this 2-1 on the shot. 15:55 left to go here in the second period. Face-off taken and one. Up to the point, shot. Nothing going there. It'll be picked up now by Clark. Clark turns, fires it down the ice, and that'll be received and into the offensive zone. Go to North Stars. Cooley shoots, save made. And Ling will get his money's worth there of a check. Gets a little cross check to the back afterwards, but officials just give him a warning, let him play on. Up, Ling tried to get to that. It's going to be taken by Cook. Cook makes the pass up. Here is David Cooley, dumps it down in. Cooley in pursuit. It comes up. Ling steps in. Big hit by Dylan Ling. And this comes out the other direction. It's a 2-on-1. Moving on in. Save made by DeRoy. This comes across on the side. And that'll be scooped out of the zone. And they can't touch this, but they do. And this is going to go all the way down now. This faceoff likely is going to go all the way down the ice. And yes, it will. As they just kind of touched it after everyone was while everyone was trying to get out of the zone. Just not a smart play there from Bethlehem. And it gives the North Stars offense's own faceoff. On the ice is Gabe Springer for CNS. He's gotten bumped around a bit this game, but he's played very physically, been a big bright spot in terms of physicality for CNS. Both goals coming from Killian Brown. Deflects on that save made by DeRoy. Not a very high velocity deflection, but enough to make him have to reassess the path. Here's Gabor from the side. That one might have gone off the mask of the goaltender. That comes back up. Here's Kirkby. In. Save made. That's held. And a little bit of shoving afterwards. Springer protesting to the official that something should have been called there, but officials say nothing there as they will make the line change. Our cameraman Owen Lynch has vanished into the abyss out at the concession stand, so we will have Joey take over on that and do color for a bit. There's a good windup on the hit from Kirkby. He was unable to fully make contact, but enough to maybe intimidate him off the puck. Turned over. Opportunity for Bethlehem. Stepping through. And nothing going there. Northstar's able to get out of the zone. Jack Bennett fires this one in. That comes up. Here comes Bethlehem. Making a play up the ice. Kirkby. Sobolewski up to Bennett. Picked off. Here's a 2-on-2 for Bethlehem. Cutting over. Across. Stepping up to that. As that one got sent through, nothing going there. It'll be taken out of the zone. Here's Evan Sobolewski, misplays it. Now he'll dump it on in. And Sobolewski, the only one to forecheck for CNS. This comes up, held at the point. Sobolewski on it, loses his possession. It comes out the other direction. Stepped in, tried to make a hit, but nothing going there. Passed up to Sobolewski. He'll just dump this one in and get the line change. This comes up at the point. Ling steps in and makes a hit. North Stars will tag up on the delayed offside. Cooley steps in, trying to get that. Nothing going. Ling with a hit. This comes up and out of the zone. And here comes Bethlehem. Stepping in was Roskoff, who took the stick out of the hand of the Bethlehem player, but was unable to actually make contact with the body. This comes up over. Ling hits it to Cooley. Cooley to Clark. Shoots wide. On the wall, Clark steps in, makes a hit. Here's Cooley. He'll take a hit. This puck gets stuck on the side. Now it's into the air. They gotta not play this with a high stick. Into the offensive zone comes Bethlehem. They make a move, but they were unable to get that one through. Clark steps up to it, and it's a 3-on-2 from CNS off the misplay. Moving on in is Clark. Has options. To the side. Shooting. That one. And it causes a student to duck behind the glass as it comes out in the other direction. Here comes Bethlehem into the offensive zone. Moving on in, shooting. That one goes high and wide. Stepping in on that was Cooley, but was able to get it to go. Here comes Bethlehem in the offensive zone. Back pass, over, shot, wide. Picked up by Gabor. Turns. Gabor makes the pass up. It's picked off. Opportunity, moving on in, another save there by DeRoy. He's had to make a few big ones here in this third period so far. Kirkby will help out. Springer makes a step, tries to make a jump hit, nothing going there. This comes out of the zone. Here's Gabor, has Springer. Gabor tried to maybe leave it for Springer, or maybe he just lost control. I'm not too sure what happened there, but regardless, a wasted opportunity for CNS. The other way, it's been back and forth this third period. This continues penalty upcoming to CNS, and the North Stars are going to take a penalty, and now we're going to get a penalty on Bethlehem too. And so this may be, I believe, this will be 4-on-4 unless they deem it to be coincidental. I don't know exactly what the rule is going to be.
Hopefully my camera work was good there. Our camera operator, Owen Lynch, is back. It's been a little bit.
There's an injured North Star down on the ice following that hit, and the officials are talking this one over. Bethlehem had the opportunity there for a power play, but they take a penalty right afterwards. So we're waiting on the trainer to continue to check out the injured North Star. Can't get a number on who that is, but hoping he's okay.
I believe it was Gabor.
Yeah, that's Gabor down the ice. He's able to get up on his own and make his way off the ice, where he'll get further attention on the bench.
A lot of injuries. Brian Buckland, our athletic trainer, definitely getting some action here tonight.
So Springer will make his way into the box and for a trip. And then on the other side, I'm unsure what was called. It was likely, obviously it resulted from the hip. I'm unsure what the exact call was. It may have been an elbow. Obviously those plays where it's from behind are always both goals today from the North Stars coming from Kalen Brown. Still getting an explanation here as the Bethlehem bench and the coach starting to, frustration starting to boil over. And so it's going to be a major against Bethlehem.
Oh, wow.
From behind. I will see what they end up calling it. So it's going to be 4-on-4, as you can't have coincidental when there's 2 different penalty lengths. And so a lot of room out there on the ice. And we finally are back underway. Let's see what we can do and what we can get here for the North Stars. This gets deflected up off the wall, and it'll be taken around. Long pass up, that's going to be flicked forward. North Star's trying to get it into the offensive zone, nothing going. And so it's going to be it'll be boarding. That's going to be the call against Bethlehem, which gives them their 2nd major penalty of the day.
Yeah, you don't see that often, Killian. You don't see major penalties that often, and here we get 2 of them. So the North Stars couldn't capitalize on the first. We'll see if they can capitalize on this one. It is even strength here for a little bit, but they will have about 3 minutes of
well, there are definitely a couple of ways there that the officials could have gone on that call, as the check was definitely, I'm not so sure if it was from behind, but certainly up against the boards, so it really could have either gone from behind. But here's a breakaway for Bethlehem. Looking, moving on in, shot goes wide.
Oh, DeRoy goes down there.
DeRoy goes down, penalty upcoming, and I believe it's on CNS. Yes, it is.
I didn't see what happened. I was paying attention. Benkowski had a big collision with DeRoy. It looks like he's a little shaken up.
And it looks like the officials might discuss a penalty shot here as they'll get together.
I don't know. It didn't look.
I mean, he had the distance.
Separation,
he had the separation, but he got the shot up. That's the only reason I think they might not call this a P shot. And let's see. They're going to immediately go over to the North Star bench. So I'm guessing this might, or actually I don't know. I guess this might just be a general explanation of what the call was for. So it looks like, it'll just be a penalty.
DeRoy looks all right. He was a little shaken up after the big collision with him and Austin Benkowski, but looks like he's going to be all right.
It'll be Austin Benkowski who'll head to the box. I imagine they're the only, and North Stars, they're still going to have over 2 minutes of power play once this expires because of the major. But it really interesting there for the officials. They deemed that he got the shot off, and it didn't impede his progress enough to the point where that took away his scoring opportunity. It's a power play for Bethlehem, 4-on-3 action, at least for another 57 seconds until it becomes 4-on-4 once again.
A lot of space on the ice as
Here's Cooley cuts in, makes the move.
If only he had somebody there.
Yeah, Cooley. I mean, you could tell he kind of thought about going back to the middle, but elected to just put this one on net. Speaking of putting it on net, that one was dumped in. Here's David Cooley again on this puck. Flicks it around, but there's nobody there.
Yeah, North Stars
30 seconds left.
Trying to stay back in neutral zone.
30 seconds remaining on this power play for Bethlehem. I'm stepping in. This gets fired out and deflected out of the zone.
Great
where it will not become an icing because it was a penalty kill. I'm not sure why I expected there to be one in the first place.
There was a icing called earlier during one of the power plays. I'm guessing because it wasn't a penalty kill. You know, they weren't just trying to fire it out is why.
Shot comes in. My guess is it were called during a 4-on-4. It was called by the team who had the power plays. Another save there by DeRoy. It comes along. Boston DeRoy. 18 saves so far. We get whistles. Student section rambling around behind as they migrate to the other side of the rink for some reason.
I don't know. Oh, because now it's an even strength here, 4-on-4, but I'm not quite sure why we're migrating here.
Yeah, they've just arrived back at the other side of the rink behind Boston DeRoy this time. Here's Kirkby, steps in, shoots, blocked. And this comes up to the point where Parker Cook will control it, sends it down low. Clark steps in. That's a good job avoiding that one. Clark continues to make a play and it continues to battle, and now this comes around. Clark whacks at it, maybe grabbed them a little bit. Penalty upcoming here to CNS. Austin Clark will get caught for holding, and so the penalty bug continues to bite CNS. Yeah. And the discipline, Joey, it's one of the things we're talking about going into this game. Their penalty kills been able to nullify it. but the discipline just has not been there.
They've been so chippy here, Killian. I mean, they're only going to get a 13-second power play here, so it's not going to affect them too much here. But now, once you get out of it, you're going to have, if my math serves me correctly,
it'll be a 20-second power play. Yeah.
And
now that is unless a goal is scored immediately here.
Right.
But, I mean, that would still make it only be a 20-second power play because it would remain 4-on-4.
Yep. There would have to be 2 consecutive goals scored.
And now it is 4-on-4, so nobody will be released in the case of a goal. Rulebook getting a workout here. Oh, one of the Bethlehem players brought down, and a couple people wanted a call there. I'm a bit unsure why one wasn't given. This moves on in. Pass great score!
Oh my God! Wow, what a pass!
Killian Brown, his 3rd of the game. It's a hat trick. His 4th of the his 3rd of the season. He has 1 assist. 0 CNS. 8:20 left. 4-on-4. So nobody will get released out of the box. And the hat's coming off in the student section down there.
That's just textbook there, Killian. I mean, you can see it. You could see it from around center of Northstar's offensive zone. Kirkby centers behind the back of the net, and you can see Killian Brown. He's calling for it. He's tapping down his stick. Kirkby decides to send it to him, and just a beautiful shot by Killian Brown to get him his 3rd of the day.
Brown might want more. Here he is in the offensive zone again, but this time he'll lose the puck. It's Gabor turning, shooting. That one stopped in front of the net. It comes out. Here's the other direction. Comes Bethlehem stepping forward. Good check there, but Bethlehem stays on the puck. Centering pass is loose. They score! And Bethlehem on the board. 7:50 left to go in the 3rd period. This one's not over yet. It is 3-1. And then on their 20th shot on goal of this game, the Eagles finally cash in. Big goal there for Bethlehem. Shutout for Boston DeRoy ruined after he plays, trying to do the math in my head, he plays 33 minutes and 10 seconds of scoreless hockey, but finally Bethlehem breaks through, and it is 3-1. This game is not over yet. A big goal there for Bethlehem. No, by no means is this an insurmountable hill. We've seen leads get blown quicker than this. Out to the middle, Bethlehem nearly picks up another one there, and Boston DeRoy escaped his goal.
Oh, jeez.
A bit of a risky decision. This is going to become an icing here against, or no, never mind, they waive it.
3rd goal of the game. 4th goal of the 2nd.
Brought forward by Bethlehem, waiting on the announcement of who was responsible for their goal as Gabe Springer takes control on the wall. Springer turns, abandons, he's buried there, and a penalty upcoming to Bethlehem. Just not a good play to Aiden make, as it's from behind. It's going to be a rough. And so the penalties continue to occur. North Stars get a power play, and they will get 20 seconds of 5-on-3 after 38 seconds go by. The math is not fun, but we are being forced to do it here in the Northstar Network.
Our producer, Alex Schneible, was just pointing out that the clock is like glitching out or something, because he said it was stopped for about 20 seconds.
There they go. Yep. It looks like, you see, sometimes, and I've seen this happen here in this ring before, the scoreboard kind of just gets stuck. And I believe that's what happened there, as they removed those seconds off the clock. And so North Star's power play for the full 2 minutes. They'll have a brief 5-on-3, and then they'll reset to 5-on-4 after 30 seconds. And here comes CNS into the offensive zone, looking to get that goal right back. It's Landon Russo. Russo steps through. That's poked away and cleared out of the zone, where it will be played by DeRoy. He'll leave it for Kirkby. Kirkby up the ice.
Now, I heard who scored it for Bethlehem. I couldn't hear the first name. I believe it was Caleb Brown, if I'm not mistaken. I know the last name was Brown. So look at that. All 4 goals scored by a player with the last name Brown.
They actually just announced it right now. So it was not.
Oh.
So
all right.
The assist was from Sweeney. Obviously, it's a little difficult to hear through the headsets.
They called the Northstar goal very late then.
Yeah, Northstar goal was called pretty late. Somehow the puck ended up in the corner. Not too sure how that happened. 7 seconds remaining of 4-on-3 for the North Stars before it becomes 5-on-3. So we're seeing every possible type of power play that's allowed in the sport of hockey here in the next 129. 4-on-3 for another 5 seconds, then 5-on-3, and then it shifts back to 5-on-4. This comes out of the zone.
And 5-on-5.
On the net to DeRoy. 5-on-3 for North Stars for the next 20 seconds. Into the offensive end. Gabor makes a move. Gets a check. The clock was not moving there for a second. Now it'll be resumed. Brown sends it over. That's going to be poked away. And they had an opportunity for a breakaway, but could not get the pass to go. Line change here for Bethlehem as they get some fresh legs on the ice, but that could have been a huge opportunity here to get it within 1. Oh, and the North Star goes down. And then kind of slid into the Bethlehem player. Here comes Gabor. Gabor on this one. This gets fired up out of the zone, and Gabe Springer gets toe-picked by the ice. DeRoy will set it, and he will leave it for Benkowski. Benkowski gives it over and into the offensive zone, or nope, not out of the, or excuse me, into the neutral zone, go to the North Stars. Gabor moves to the left, shooting one, save made. Trying to pick that one up. It comes at the point here, Sobolewski. His pass is grabbed by Kalen Brown. All 3 goals on the day for the North Stars go to him.
That's going to do it.
We're back to 5-on-5. Haven't seen 5-on-5 in a while, have we, Joey?
No.
As that goes to the North Star bench, and it'll be...
The penalties just keep on coming, Killian, and let's see how long it'll last. Can it last for the rest of the third? I'm not thinking so, just because people are going to start getting chippy. So Killian Heffron's going to have to step away for a second. I'll take over for a moment. Oh, he just, something fell. Okay, so not going to have to take over for too long as the North Stars are going to try to move this thing forward into the neutral zone. That one bounces off the wall, and Killian is back with us.
Yes, my debit card fell in my pocket and fell down a couple of rows. Owen Lynch currently standing on my cord, giving me the no signal.
Got a little bit of a tangle.
There we go.
There we go.
All good again. Just in time for this offensive zone face-off for Bethlehem. Shot comes out, save made by DeRoy. It's played along the side, trying to step into that was Russo. He'll land the hit there. This is the point in the game, Joey, where you can't give Bethlehem any opportunities with power plays, and that's been an issue for CNS today. Discipline has not quite been there for either team, but CNS, you can't afford to do anything here. Into the offensive zone, shooting one that goes wide. Backhanded to the middle, nothing going there. And out the other way, here goes Bethlehem. Coughed up, the other direction, to the middle, nothing going there. That one just flew through the crease, I'm able to get a stick on it. Cooley tried to give it over to Clark, and that'll just get dumped in there by Benkowski. Here's Ling, the North Star captain. Gets checked there on the side, nearly goes down, but able to keep his footing. Here's Jack Bennett. Bennett put it off the side of the goal, up to the point. And Parker Cook's shot got deflected in front.
It looked like it had the track, Killian, just a lot of bodies. Nowhere really for it to have a clean shot. Not really able to get that one on net, and it did get there, but just unfortunate deflections there for Parker Cook, not able to sneak that one through.
That one goes out of play. Reminder that after this game, we will scheduled start time was 7:45. Obviously, it's not going to start then, but it will be Saranac and FM up next here on the Northstar Network. What an opportunity for Bethlehem. Can they beat the icing? Yes, they can. The pass up to the point. Opportunity skating in. Save made by DeRoy. Rebound comes down.
Wow.
Another save by DeRoy. Boston DeRoy keeping CNS with the lead. And the clock didn't stop there for a second. Now it stops.
Scoreboard operator might need a little bit of coffee or something. Wake him up.
I don't think you need any coffee, though, if you're watching this game. This has been great
No.
so far. Plenty of action. This third period has by far been the best one.
A lot of huge hits here, Killian. No short of an exciting hockey game here tonight.
And for the North Stars, Joey, what a bounce back this is for them here. Obviously, they still got to close this one out, but a big bounce back following that upset loss against Auburn. Big hit there on the wall. Another big hit immediately following that. And the physicality here from Bethlehem increasing rapidly as they try to get something going. Into the offensive zone. It comes down. That one is air-mouthed out of play, nearly catching the official on the way down.
Nearly an offside there. It looked like Gabor had just snuck in before Dylan Ling, but ref's not calling it there. Again, weird to see that we got two refs here tonight, like you were saying, Killian, and just one linesman here. So
That's the point. Shot blocked on the way in. Oh, that's a big block. Definitely caught him under the pad, but here comes Bethlehem out the other way. Into the offensive zone. They swerve. Pass back. Shooting. Save DeRoy. This is handled. Dumped back in. Played from the side. Stepping up. Good check there by Kirkby. Now over in the middle. That's going to be played now by Bethlehem. Definitely a grab on the stick, but no call there, and a couple extra shots. It looks like they're both going to go.
So, Killian, I was saying, wonder if we're going to be able to play out the third period without any more penalties. Well, there goes that. As we get to here.
You hope that you could get through 5 minutes without penalties, but
Right.
5-minute penalties have been something we've seen today.
Yep, quite a bit, twice.
2:31 left to go in this one. It's going to be 5-on-5 off the Coincidental Miners. And so the North Stars, 150 seconds from closing this one out.
Quick math there, Killian.
Bethlehem knocking on the door. Out to the middle. It could not get that one to go. Battling for it, and this will be chipped up and out of the zone. But it's a breakaway for Ling if he can get to the puck. But that's great decision-making by the Bethlehem goaltender. They just fired this right back in. Obviously, wouldn't have counted had it gone in since it was late offside. But a good idea to get this on net. Here's Cooley. Makes a move. Clark sends it down low. That took a weird bounce in front of the net. Save made and held.
Holding. Eagles penalty. Trending swing. 2 minutes.
You know, I just looked over for a second, Killian, and I noticed I could see our camera operator, Owen Lynch's breath. I think I've gotten used to the cold a little bit here, but I'm like, just realizing how cold it is here in the rink. But it's not as cold as outside, I'll tell you that.
Freezing cold this morning. I had a wind chill of -5 at one point.
Yeah.
This will be chipped out of the zone. 1:40 left to go. North Stars trying to close out their first victory of the season, and what's technically not their home opener, but played in their home rink. As FMC share a facility. Into the offensive zone. Benkoski puts on that. That's held. 1:24 left. CNS looking to close this one out. Face-off will be to the right of the Bethlehem goaltender. It's Dylan Ling on the draw. Ling unable to win it. It comes up and it'll make its way out of the zone. 2-on-1 if they can get to it, but they can't. They'll just fire this one back in. Pass down on the ice. Good job there by Benkoski to pinch up and disrupt that one. 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go. Ling fires this one up and out. It bounces. Oh, that could have gone right to Clark. Had that one stay on his trajectory. Cooley comes in. He'll take the hit. Stays on it. And Cooley gets knocked down low. And it comes up to the point now. Kirkby finds it off the wall. Clark sends it to the net. Save made. It's held.
Right.
44.8 left. Alex Kirkby getting some love from the Northstar student section. So is Kalen Brown.
Kalen Brown deserves it, and that's for sure. Kirkby's been making some big plays here tonight as well. So
Brown's the obvious choice for an interview after the game. Penalty upcoming here, I believe, on CNS. And yes, it is. So 26.7 to go. Northstars will take a penalty here. And so all of a sudden, Bethlehem, it's a tall hill of this amount of time left in the game to climb, but not impossible by any stretch. Goalie comes out, and so the game will come down to this. Andrew Gabor to the box. And no timeout called here by Bethlehem for some reason. Not looking to face off taken in one. It leaks out. It's under something. Now it comes out. Bethlehem got to get a shot on here. Clark gets in with a hit at the end of the game. And the Northstars avenge their start to the season. And they take down Bethlehem 3-1 here at the MAC. Joey, what was your interpretation there of the ending of that game?
Well, I mean, interesting how Bethlehem just decided not to take a timeout. They were kind of in a hurry-up, kind of do-or-die kind of moment there, and not much going for them late, and I think they just waited a little bit too long. Should have taken a timeout before they went with that, and really just not much going for them. But overall, for the end of the game, quite a number of penalties to close us out here in this third period, but the Northstars just get the job done. They did a great job, and Kalen Brown, I mean, incredible here tonight. All 3 goals for the Northstars scored by him, and even though DeRoy had that late shot he allowed through, honestly, solid game for him. 24 saves, only 1 shot, or 1 goal allowed on those 25 shots against, and honestly, solid game here for the Northstars. Great job bouncing back from the tough loss versus Auburn.
Well, CNS will have one more game here of this tournament, and they get to play Saranac tomorrow afternoon. But obviously not an in-section win, but definitely a big way to bounce back from that first loss. And we will see what they are able to do for the rest of this season. That will do it for us here on the Northstar Network for this first game of this doubleheader. CNS takes down Bethlehem 3-1, for our final score. We will see you all next time here in the Northstar Network.